friends, this is Sunil Chandy, and this is Food for Thought again. And this time we're about in town in Westerly, and we're at the United Theater. And not only are we at the United Theater, which will open up very soon, we're at the Publix Radio with Alex Nunes. Alex Nunes, you've met before. We've had him on our show before. He's wonderfully gifted in terms of being a reporter for the Publix Radio, and he's also a person who's been coming to our congregation, and I've just so enjoy having him, and I wanted to have a tour of this place. So how are you doing, Alex?
I'm doing excellent. Hi, everybody.
Good.
I'm doing well, excited to be in here. The certificate of occupancy for the whole space, the United got only a couple weeks ago. We got our stuff in here last week, and now it's pretty close to operational. We just have to set up the internet, and then I can be, working in here full time.
I love this, the window as it looks out into this community. Yeah. It's kind of it's very inviting. It almost makes it a part of what it says to me is that the Publix Radio is all about our community and hearing and being a part of it, being embedded in it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's the that's by design. Like the how this space was chosen in the theater and why we wanted to be in here. People could walk by, see what we're doing. You see the reporters. You see sources who might come in for an interview. Everyone in here, kind of dynamic, and I think it causes people to kind of ask questions like, "What's going on in there?" And then they can knock on the door, come on in, tell us, what they think. Maybe things that they think should be covered by the radio station, stuff like that. So it integrates us into the community.
I love it.
In a way that's really important.
Well, yeah, no, it's great. So show us the space.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, wow, it's got like a keyless entry.
Yeah,
This is great. Oh.
So this is sort of like the office area where my desk is over here.
Yeah.
We're not really on air, that's just for decoration. And then the idea here is that this would be like a meeting table. So if people came in, they could sit down, talk with me, tell me maybe ideas they have, things that they think we should be tapped into, things that we should be covering, stuff like that. Or people just want to come in and just say, hey.
Yeah. And would you ever imagine doing interviews here? Maybe, I don't know.
Possibly. The only thing is, though, we have the studio, so we'll probably do it there, too. Yeah.
Well, show us the studio.
Anything's possible.
Yeah.
And then this is like this is a self-contained studio. They come like in a box, and you basically like install it. So it's fully soundproofed on the inside.
Oh, so you could actually say something in here, you can't hear anything out here.
Well, we're wired right now, so they could, yeah.
That's right.
So this is like a table. These are the two mics. Like I would probably sit there. The guest would sit here. We have 3 mics in here, so we could do as many as 3 people in an interview at once.
Cool. Should we try it out? What I said over
well,
there?
it's not.
Well, we won't try it out.
It's not fully operational, yeah.
But it would be like this. I would be a guest here on this side talking. Okay.
You'd be the guest. I would have my recording software up.
Yeah.
And then I just set it up, control the levels over here, and then we'd be talking into our mics and having the conversation. Wow. The type of reporting I do is, generally speaking, is a mix in terms of how I'd be interviewing people. Sometimes I go out on assignment, meet people where they are, do interviews, and you record sound in that area to put into your stories. Other times it can be more of like a studio interview like this. Sometimes if you're interviewing like an expert, or it's a type of story that's not going to be like being on the scene isn't as essential for the story, you might do it in here. If it's just a straightforward interview that's just going to air as an interview, we might record it in here too.
That's beautiful. And then, so when you're out on the town, right, do you take a smaller device or something, or?
Yeah, yeah, I have a recording kit. So it's just a small recorder. I have the cords that I plug
Okay.
my microphone into, and then headphones, and you just go like that. Yeah.
Well, I know like you went to school of journalism, but did they teach you how to do all of this? Like, I mean, it seems complex. Are this just things that you learn on the job?
Kind of a combination. In journalism school, you'll learn like the basics, and you'll learn whatever equipment like your journalism school has. But there's some um, general consistencies between like equipment that you might use at one place or another, and then you just got to kind of learn it and get up to speed on it. I'm probably going to get a new recorder soon, the one that I bring out in the field, so I'll have to adjust to that, figure that one out.
Yeah. So, like, I'll tell you that the People's Radio has been, or the Public's Radio. That's a little joke because we were just talking about when I made the mistake and I said the People's Radio, and Alex said, "Well, we don't want to sound like it's a communist group." It's part of the democracy here, right?
Yeah, Public's Radio.
The
So
Public's
yeah, so
Radio.
people can know where to go online. Yep.
That's right. So the thing with the that I know is that it's offered a lot of inspiration and hope. You know, I know like when we get connected with people, people like it. We're with Food for Thought. People have just like my face being on there because it's a familiar face, and especially when we're going through a stressful time, a time of unknown. And like that, I think the Public's Radio have these voices that are help us feel comfort in knowing that there's something in the midst of all the chaos of life. There's something steady that we could count on, and so it's a beautiful thing, I think.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think radio, generally speaking, is kind of an intimate medium because you're listening to it. I mean, you might even have headphones on. It can really feel like the person on air is like talking to you directly. So I think people tend to get a connection with the person who they listen to on the radio. And I've heard people say like, you know, they think of, you know, someone like Terry Gross who has Fresh Air on NPR as like being like a friend,
Yeah.
because you just consistently hear that voice. I think last year during the pandemic, I've been doing the South, even though this is just opening up now, I've been the South County Bureau reporter for a little over a year and a half. So a lot of that, you know, when I started, almost pretty much overlapped with the pandemic. So there's just been so much happening in the last year and a half, and so much news to keep up with, and so much to cover, and so much to get out to people that I think people found out about us and the reporting that we're doing in South County more quickly than they might have otherwise, and came to appreciate it and rely on it. I and my colleagues got like lots of emails in the last year and a half of people appreciative of the work that we're doing.
That's beautiful. I love it. And out of this space, you'll have how many people working?
Well, so it will be. I'll be the one in here most days. If we have like another reporter, so we have regional reporters, and then we also have topic-based reporters. So we have me in South County. We have Anthony Ayers Brown is our Newport reporter, and then we have two people who cover like the New Bedford area, Nadine Sabai and Ben Berkey. So they have similar kind of studio office spaces to me in their respective areas. None are as nice as this one. None have a movie theater and a restaurant that you can walk to. So I think I got the best spot, but they have their individual spots. They work out of there. But then we also have like a political reporter, Ian Dunnis. Lynn Arditi is our healthcare reporter. Sophie Rudin is our environment reporter. So there could, especially with like environment, Sophie might be down here doing something on sea level rise or something like that, and want to come in here and interview someone in here, or might want to record a narration in here, work out of here. One of our editors might be down in the area and want to work out of here. So I'm kind of like the full-time person in here, but it's a space that everyone can use. Our general manager of our station, Tori Malatia, he lives in Westerly too. We both live in Westerly, and I imagine he'll use this space. We also, like, when we do like on-air fundraising. Tori and I, we both have to drive up to Providence to do that. Now that we have this, we could, theoretically just come down here and do it, because everything can be interconnected.
Right.
Our weekend host, Joe Tasca, he also lives in Westerly, and he does reporting as well, like outside of his weekend edition role. So he'll be using the space. And then we're also very excited that even though the space is great right now, we are going to be outfitting it even more so that we could do live broadcasts from here, like tap in through a fiber optic cable, and then literally what's being done in here can broadcast out live to the entire coverage area. And Joe will do weekend edition from here every weekend, Saturday and Sunday.
Wow.
So it'll be a really dynamic space.
I think it's great and exciting for Westerly. I mean, to have Tori here. I met Tori, and he's a wonderful visionary. And Joe Tasca, he interviewed us actually for
that's right. Yeah, I remember that,
at the beginning of the pandemic, and it was just really wonderful. And he seems like a wonderful person. So to have, so this is, I think, an interesting trend that people are no longer just tied to these big urban centers, but now can be almost in different places and still be tied into what's happening in the larger national life, and then also in the state, but also in their local communities.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and that's also like a trend that even like further developed, during the pandemic, which I don't think we could have predicted.
I don't think we could have predicted it at all. I mean, it's just amazing. Now, I'm also very surprised that this is like that during this pandemic, we had this United Theater. I mean, maybe we could take a tour of it a little bit from
sure,
this point of view, and this office being opened up. I mean, it takes a lot of chutzpah, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it overlapped nicely. As nice as it could be, in the sense that this was under construction while the pandemic was happening. So, in a sense, now that things are opening up, now the space can open up.
Yeah, it's almost as if it's an act of faith, because what it is you're investing with the idea that this will be eventually, the pandemic will be ending, that we'll be engaging back in life as in somewhat of a normal situation. That's beautiful. I think it's great. So what's this?
So this is the restaurant space where people are going to be.
I think I'm going to love this space.
Yeah. So it's got a restaurant. Looks like a full bar.
I think I'm going to love this space.
But, and then people can come in here. Part of the idea is that people can, we have the glass out front so people can see me and everyone else from the street. But then we also have like the glass here.
Yeah.
So people who are maybe, they have dinner over there, and then they're going to a movie or a show. As they're walking through, they can see through
the
here too. So
yeah.
you see through the glass, and then you can even see into the studio booth too.
All right, it's beautiful. And then, of course, here on this side, we have the movie theaters and several other things that are happening. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to talk to the people here at the United Theater for Food for Thought too.
Yeah.
And maybe get a tour of the whole place. But I love this idea of just being right in the midst of a community, and then also being in the midst of this new enterprise in this whole section. It's great. Well,
Definitely.
Alex, we love talking to you, and you always provide us insight. And what might be an insight that you might give us for those who are facing challenges and thinking about starting something new? Something that I mean, you must have felt a sense of anxiety or excitement, or how do you?
Yeah, I mean, I think you feel both when you're trying something new that's not really been done before, and there's uncertainties and all of that. I think that maybe sometimes people hold back because they're afraid of the failure or it not working out, and maybe that'd be embarrassing to them or something like that,
Yeah.
or whatever it might be. But I think if you believe in a project, you got to like push past that, because I think it's natural to have those feelings that, you know, like if I take a risk, what if it goes doesn't go the way I want it to? Like I think anyone, even like a bold, courageous person, would think that. Yeah. But you kind of got to push back. I mean, push forward anyway. Yeah. If you want to do great things that are meaningful to you. Yeah,
I think I think a courageous person, in my definition, is one who acknowledges the fear and still presses on.
Right, not a fearless person. Yeah, yeah,
because you know, and anything new, there's always a risk, and this does represent a risk, but there's also potential. You know, there's great potential in terms of connecting people together. Beautiful.
Absolutely, yeah.
Love it. Thank you, Alex, for all that you do.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
And thank you, folks, for watching. And we'll have our next session next time also. And God bless you.
Thanks for watching. Did you know that you can join Christ Church from anywhere in the world? If you're feeling connected to what we're doing, email us today at communicate@christchurchwesterly.org.